Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about how to interact with New York and New Jersey people with regards to gun rights. Okay, and when I say New York, New Jersey, I also mean other inner cities. But I say New York, New Jersey because I'm close to New York, New Jersey border, and also I grew up in New York City. Okay, I didn't escape until I was about in my mid 30s, so I understand those people very well, and I understand how and why they feel about gun rights. Um, and here's the issue, okay? New York people don't have gun rights, and to them, the fact that you outside of their city, the fact that you do have gun rights, they see that as inequality. Okay, they look at you and they're like, why do you have more rights than they do? Okay, and basically, what you need to convince them, okay, is that it's not that you should have less rights; it's that they should have the equal rights that you have. They should have gun rights because you have gun rights. Okay, so that's the first approach that I recommend when dealing with New York, New Jersey people. Okay, the second approach, is that keep in mind that a lot that New York, New Jersey people are very sensitive to the slave history in America. Okay, to them, guns are a way to enslave people. What you have to do is convince them that the opposite is true. That the way you turn people into slaves is by disarming them first. Okay, so that's the other approach that you need to do. Now, of course, you got to approach this tactfully. Okay, you can't just walk up to these people and say, "Hey, since you don't have guns, one day somebody may want to turn you into a slave." They're probably not going to appreciate that. You have to slowly build up a conversation. But those are the 2 points that you need to make. Okay, you need to make the point that rather than trying to take away your rights, they should work on getting those rights as well. And that secondly, the way that you turn people into slaves is by disarming them first, and from there you can expand into other things. You can either take the constitutional route and start talking a little bit about that. But what I find is that most New York City people, even though they'll listen to it, that's usually not what really gets them excited. Okay, that's just how it is over there. They're not so much into constitutional history. They're not so much into originalism. With regard to the Constitution. Okay, they have this idea that the Constitution is some sort of living document that changes with time. So that's that's an argument for another time and another place. Okay, you wanna be as efficient as possible. You want to make the point that you want to make. Okay, and then let them kind of figure out the rest on their own. So you need to convince them that they should have the same rights that you have. Okay, and that the best way for them to not become slaves at some point in the future is by being armed, and you tell them that, listen, hey, I mean, I don't know how you feel about the current president, or the, but you don't know who's going to be there after, or 50 years from now, or 100 years from now, or 500 years from now. Okay, the history of the world is basically slavery. Okay, the last 200 or 300 years where there has basically almost been no slavery is the exception. Okay, human history is 5,000 years of slavery, and the way it works, the way slavery really works, is that who is a free man and who is a slave is usually a question of who wins or loses the last war. Okay, so these are arguments that I think New York City and New Jersey people can digest a little bit more easy. And a lot of times I'm working with Jewish people. I'm training Jewish people, and that's a really easy argument to make. I mean, basically, at some point in the conversation, I will basically tell them that, hey, something, armed people do not willingly load themselves into cattle carts, okay, to be gassed and burned. Okay, you have to disarm those people first. And that's usually a point. Once I make that point, there's usually no argument to that point. Okay, so now of course you have to know your audience. You have to know how to talk to them and smoothly get into that subject. But in doing so, don't smoothly go into the direction of of debating constitutional history. Hit them where it's going to have an effect. Talk to them about equal rights, right? New York people, very big on equal rights. Tell them equal rights means equal guns for everybody, okay? They're very big on being anti-slavery. Of course, we all are. Hey, but the way you become and stay anti-slavery is by being armed. Okay, so there are my thoughts on how to deal with New York, New Jersey, and other people, and how, because ultimately we need to get these people on our side. Okay, if we don't get these people on our side, if we don't get them to respect and love gun rights, there's a good chance that we may lose this in the long run. Okay, so we need to get them on our side, and these are the arguments that are going to get through to those people. And I say that as somebody that grew up with those people, and I know how they think. I'll talk to you guys next time.